Students, hello ma, how are you all? Yeah, I'm fine. How are you? Good. Yeah, Nikita, Lakshmi, Sunidhi, all of you, good morning. Nameshri, Prakriti. Okay, done. We are done the last class about the. I'm sorry, I get a little cold. I'm sorry for that. Right? I gave you various REN and plasmids. I gave you about plasmids, 3 types of plasmids. Do you remember? Yeah, I remember. So plasmids are the circular double-stranded DNA fragments present in the cytoplasm of the bacteria that help in giving certain antibiotic tests. See, these are not formed for biotechnology. Remember, they are formed for the bacteria to help it for resisting against certain antibiotics. Most of the time, they will write. They will ask a question about a plasmid. They say everything is right. They say that there are double-stranded circular double-stranded DNA fragments present in the cytoplasm of the bacteria. Okay, then they say that they are used in genetic engineering. See, actually, bacteria is not forming for genetic engineering for its own sake. It is producing. Okay, good morning. Right? It is not producing for human sake. Okay, let them use it for biotechnology, genetic engineering, and Allah. It will be producing on its own some characters like antibiotic resistance and toxin genes or pathogenic genes will be there in the plasmid. Okay, ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. See, nothing will be produced in every organism for using, giving it to somebody else, right? Unless we only make them like that. Like cow only, cow produces a lot of milk, right? It is for the child it will produce, but nowadays we have explored it in such a way that it should produce more milk for human usage also. We have modified genome. We are not taking the all milk required for the baby, right? We have modified in such a way that it cell should produce more than required milk for the baby. That is what we are doing here, right? Hagene bacterial kuda plasmids are not produced for the sake of human beings. It is produced for the bacterial usage only. But apart from that, we are using it because it has some important characteristic, that it has a marker character, it has an identifying feature, it has REN site, it has a origin of replication site. Therefore, we use it as the genetic engineering tool. Got it? Did you understand why we are using? Done. So we have 3 types of plasmids, which are till now we have studied for our syllabus. There are so many nowadays produced, but for us we are using PBR 322, PUC 18, and TI plasmids. 3 types of plasmids we are using. PBR 322 is isolated from the bacteria E. coli. It's a naturally available plasmid. It has normally 1 gene to be transported only, because tetracycline resistant gene only one you can cut and insert 1 gene. Desired gene. So PUC 18 has been produced, which is having ability to, what is that? It will have the ability to transport many and many genes, to transport from the desired genes from one to another organism. This is why we use multiple cloning sites. We have multiple cloning sites, and we have the small galactose locus. Yesterday I was giving you half the way, or you finished this? You finished, na? TI plasmid also you finished drawing, right? Yes or no? Yeah, you are finished. Okay. Now we have to talk about the type of host we are using, that bioreactors. Okay. Now, what is the type of host we have to use? So bacterial host should be how it should be. It should be human friendly. The host should not be like a pneumococcus bacteria. If you use pneumococcus bacteria as a host, it's going to transport our gene, as well as it is going to affect us with pneumonia also. Do you understand? So our host should be harmless to humans, and also it should have the ability to multiply my genome in large numbers. It should be harmless, human friendly. Most of the time you use the host as the E. coli bacteria, because E. coli bacteria is considered a very useful bacteria for human beings, right? Right. Okay, now we'll talk about that host and then how is bioreactor. Only two things we have to learn. Bioreactor already we have explained. I have explained you. It's like a big fermenter, but anyway, I'll give you the drawing also. And in your book, they have given about PCR also along with this, but you need not to worry about PCR technique, right? So host you have to learn. The vectors I told you, competent host. So how should be the host? I told you it should be harmless. It should transport our gene to the host. Okay. Write down about the host. Third requirement. First tool is enzymes. Second is the vector. Yeah, one more thing. I'm sorry. One more vector I have to give you. Listen. I'm sorry. Okay. So this is different. What is there on the board? I hope you know this. What is this? Okay. So don't worry about this now. I am going to erase this. So once I told you the host, sorry, the vectors used are plasmids, right? Genetic vectors, mostly one of the very popular vector is plasmid only. Okay. So the genetic vectors we are using, the most popular one I told you is the plasmid. First one is plasmid. Second one, you can use it as the bacteriophage also. Bacteriophage also can act as a good genetic vector. Like how? So you may ask me how it is a good vector. Listen, all of you observe. So bacteriophage we have learned during the study of virus. Do you remember viral studies? Virus reproduction is that is in the bacteriophage, how the virulent, how the lytic life cycle, lysogenic life cycle happens, right? Why we want to use bacteriophage? I am giving you background, I will give you all the notes. See, most of the time students will be thinking that whatever I am giving notes should only come to the need. No, I will be explaining some of the things, everything bit by bit I will not give you notes. Okay, so now I am talking about the bacteriophage. So what will the bacteriophage will do? Suppose this is a bacteriophage, lambda phage or whatever it is, it has the DNA or RNA in this. It will attack the bacteria. Okay, first attacks the bacteria. Once it attacks the bacteria, its main genome of the bacteria is broken down when it inserts its DNA into it. Right? Then next what will happen? The viral genome will use the bacterial machinery and produce number of copies and number of head, tail, etc. Head, the tail, all those things will produce. Okay. Like this will produce. Then they all will assemble to form number of virions, children of virus. They are called virions, not viroids. These are called virions. Virions and their children are produced. Then they break open the bacterial genome and come out. This process is called as the lysis. What is lysis? It is the process of breakdown of bacterial cell wall to release the virus outside. When the food is over inside, they are being released. They are ready to attack the new one. Okay. So this is called the lytic life cycle. Okay. This lytic life cycle, we are not much using such bacteria that undergo lytic life cycle. Then another life cycle you must be knowing. Right, this is the first lytic life cycle. Second one, this is the first one I am talking about, lytic life cycle. Second one is, suppose this is a bacteria, virus will attack this, right? Its main genome is here, viral DNA has entered. This viral DNA will not be able to break down the bacterial genome because bacteria is very strong. So what this will do, very clever it is, viral genome, main genome is not going to be broken down, then very simply it will get small nick in this and get inserted into the main genome. This is the viral DNA. This is the bacterial DNA or bacterial genome, right? And it will start multiplying along with the bacteria. If the bacteria becomes by fission 2, then again along with this our viral genome also is multiplying. See, so cute it is. It will do every activity along with being inside, right? Hidden way. It will not. This is called the prophage. Prophage ಅಂದ್ರೆ hidden phage. The prophage DNA. ಅಂದ್ರೆ within that, this is called lysogeny. Within the bacterial genome, viral genome get hidden and multiply along with this. This is called lysogeny. This is what we want for biotechnology. Okay, such bacteriophages can be used because these can insert our genome. Suppose instead of viral genome, we put our gene in this, we can happily insert inside into the main genome of the bacteria, and along with the bacteria, my genome also is multiplying. Do you get it? Therefore, bacteriophage can be used as a very good vector because for the bacteriophage, bacteria has no opposition. It has no defense system against virus. It will simply take it without even opposing and multiply, and it doesn't even know that viral gene is there in its genome. Did you get it? So therefore, bacterial genome with our desired gene can multiply. If I insert my required gene, maybe insulin gene in the head of the virus, it can multiply along the bacteria. Are you understanding this? So we have fooled the bacteria in such a way that it will not understand the foreign gene is in them. Are you understanding? Right? It's a very beautiful subject when you learn it. Okay? Right on. Bacteriophage as a vector. Bacteriophage as a vector. Underline right below. Bacteriophage are the virus that attack the bacteria and infect the bacteria. Attack and infect the bacteria. Next paragraph. Bacteriophage multiply within the bacteria in two ways. First one, through lytic life cycle. Second one, through lysogenic life cycle. Through lysogenic life cycle. Lytic, LYTIC, lytic life cycle, first one. Through lytic life cycle, and second one through lysogenic life cycle. This is lysogenic life cycle. Lysogeny. Lysogenic life cycle. Next point. Lysogenic bacteriophages I'm sorry. Lysogenic bacteriophages are useful in very useful in gene transfer. Are very useful in gene transfer. These bacteriophages after inserting their nucleic acid into the bacteria, comma, the nucleic acid or the genome of virus get integrated into the bacterial genome, and multiplies along with the bacteria. Multiply along with the bacteria. Then this bacteriophage DNA that is inserted into this bacteriophage DNA that is inserted into the bacterial genome is called prophage. Prophage. It's called prophage. Prophage. Then next point, such bacteriophages that undergo lysogenic life cycle can be used in genetic engineering and using this method larger DNA fragments can be transported. Larger DNA fragments can be transported. Can be transported. Then can be transported. Then okay. Next one more thing. Third one I'll give you. The cosmids. So all these are selectable markers only. These are all called as selectable vectors only. So the third one is cosmids. Cosmids refer to the plasmid having the phage DNA. Phage DNA. This is a plasmid. Imagine this is a plasmid. I know my pen is not writing. So this is the plasmid, circular double-stranded DNA. You know it's a plasmid. In this, if I insert the lambda phage DNA, this is called the cosmid. Cosmid that is modified one, right? So cosmid is plasmid with the phage DNA. In the retrovirus also can be used. Retrovirus and they are normally RNA viruses that will convert itself into DNA by reverse transcription. The word you have to remember, reverse transcription is ulta. DNA in the RNA is transcription. RNA in the DNA is reverse transcription. So therefore their name is retrovirus. They are retro, reverse transcription. They are also used as reverse transcription, but most of the time these will cause cancer. Therefore they will be used after disarming. Disarming andre avugala pathogenic gene na tagidubidtare. Disarming the genome. This can be transferred. Reverse transcription, they can be used after reverse transcription. Transcriptase enzyme is there. Okay. This is another one. See, apart from this again, fifth one I'll give you, the artificial chromosomes. Artificial chromosomes can be done because you know how to prepare the artificial gene. No, artificial chromosomes. One of them is BAC, bacterial artificial chromosome, or yeast artificial chromosome. These also can be used as the types of vectors. Did you understand this? So vectors ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯೋಫೇಜ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಕಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, then retrovirus use ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, artificial chromosome like bacterial artificial chromosome BAC and a yeast artificial chromosome YAC can be used. Understood this? Okay, write this. ಏನು ಡೌಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ. Write down. Cosmids these are also type of gene vectors or genetic vectors that contain hybrid of plasmid genes and phage ಹೆಸರು lambda phage ಅಂತ lambda phage cos gene ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ cos gene ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ genome ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ cos gene, so therefore the name cosmid. Lambda phage or cos gene. Cos gene. Next you write retrovirus. These are the virus containing RNA and genetic material which one to repeat? These are the virus, retrovirus I am giving you. The type of genetic vectors that contain hybrid of plasmid gene and the lambda phage cos gene. Baridam Nisarga Baridam. Good. So far she types very good Nisarga, very good in typing I think. Naan adre ish madake ಒಂದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. All I think young children are very good at technology. Very nice. Okay. Bardra, retrovirus are the type of virus containing RNA as a genetic material that can undergo reverse transcription in the host. Undergo reverse transcription in the host, forming DNA. Forming DNA. These retrovirus also can be used as vectors after disarming andre bacteria barre removing pathogenic gene. Removing pathogenic gene. Disarming is removing pathogenic gene. Because retrovirus can transform the normal cell into cancerous cell. Normal cell into cancerous cell. Next, right? Artificial chromosomes or artificial DNA. Artificial chromosomes or artificial DNA. Retrovirus cause HIV. Yeah. Retrovirus ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ retrovirus ಬರೀ HIV ಅಲ್ಲ ಸುಮಾರು RNA viruses ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಮೇಜರ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಕಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದಾದ್ರೆ ಬಂದು DNA ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಿದೆ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ HIV ನು retrovirus different types are there. Okay, now artificial chromosome or DNA. Underline. Who was the first person to synthesize artificial gene in the laboratory? You tell me. Who synthesized an artificial gene in the laboratory? ನೆನಪಿಲ್ವಾ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮರ್ತಾ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ನಿಸರ್ಗ ಬೇಗ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಹೇಳು ನೋಡೋಣ, ಹುಡುಕ್ಬಾರ್ದು, ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಟಕ್ ಅಂತ. Who synthesized an artificial gene in the laboratory? ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಗಪ್ಚುಪ್ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Yes, Prabha is right. Yes, Hargobind Khorana. Okay, write down. After Hargobind Khorana and his co-workers, after Hargobind Khorana and his co-workers, ಯಾರು ಕಾರ್ನ್ಬರ್ಗ್ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಲ್ಲ ಅವರು, co-workers produced the first synthetic DNA by pure chemical methods. In 1965. Scientists understood procedure for it. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? After Hargobind Khorana and his co-workers produced the first synthetic DNA by purely chemical means in 1965. I am repeating, 1965. Scientists understood the method to synthesize it. It andre artificial gene ಅಂತ. Based on this procedure, scientists were successful In synthesizing two artificial chromosomes, first one BAC, bacterial artificial chromosome. Second one YAC, yeast artificial chromosome. Yeast artificial chromosome. YAC, that is yeast artificial chromosome. Next, right? Competent host. Third requirement. Competent host. Required host. Third requirement is the competent host. Is the third tool, competent host. ಯಾವ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹಾಕಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. Okay, write about this, then only I can go ahead. Arey, your spelling is wrong. Competent host. Competent host. Write down. The host in which DNA or recombinant DNA is added, the host in which the required DNA is added, must take up this without cutting it down. I repeat, the host in which the desired DNA is added must take up this without destroying or breaking it down. And it is called competent host. It is called competent host. Bardra, next. DNA is a hydrophilic molecule that cannot pass through cell membrane. That cannot pass through cell membrane. Therefore, several modifications were made to introduce recombinant DNA into the host cell. Into the host cell. Then, okay, listen. So how to make it competent? How to make it take up the cell? Okay, first method is called chemical method. Chemical method means having the cell without cell wall and plasma membrane. It is easy to enter. Like sometimes they do, they take the plant cell, cut off the cell wall, cell membrane, make a protoplast. Take the protoplast, recombinant DNA together, they mix them, centrifuge them, then add certain the fusogens. Then they will multiply and use the alkaline media. So how to do it chemical method? Take the protoplast, combine with the recombinant DNA, combine them in a alkaline media, right? Alkaline media having some amount of magnesium and calcium ions, right? Alkaline media with Mg+2 and Ca+2 calcium ions you add, it becomes acceptable and you centrifuge it, adding another chemical called as polyethylene glycol. We call it the PEG, polyethylene glycol. It acts as the fusing agent. We call that as a fusogen, right? PEG is called the fusogen, polyethylene glycol. Then this protoplast, it is just protoplast, which is DNA. rDNA is here, rDNA. So they will combine now, forming the same protoplast with this DNA and this DNA. This is a protoplast fusion, or the way you can insert our genome. This is rDNA. It has entered into it, right? This is one of the method through polyethylene glycol. By chemical method, you are doing this. Did you understand this? So write down first method. Don't confuse all of them. Write one after the other. Chemical methods. DNA can enter into those cells that lack ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, that lack cell wall and plasma membrane. Cell membrane and cell wall. That is the naked protoplast plant cell. The naked plant protoplast. DNA can enter the host those cells that lack cell membrane and cell wall. Correct. Zoya, she has written. Fast ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಸರ್ಗ. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Okay, write down. The naked plant protoplast. The naked plant protoplast is mixed with recombinant DNA, rDNA, recombinant DNA, rDNA, containing foreign gene, they are mixed in alkaline media rich in magnesium and calcium ions. Rich in magnesium and calcium ions. We'll stop. To this mixture, a fusogen, namely PEG or polyethylene glycol, polyethylene glycol in the bracket 20% is added. 20% ಅದು PEG 20% is added and the mixture is centrifuged. This helps to insert rDNA into the host. ಇದನ್ನ ಬರೀರಿ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಚಿತ್ರ ಬರೀರಿ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ದಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತ. Small diagram of this you write. ಏನಿದು ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ನಾ ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ನನಗ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು, ಹಿಂದೂ ಜಾಗ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. Written, all of you are written. Okay. So the second method to induce our genome is electroporation method. Right? These are very technical. You have to remember as it is. Okay. Second method is electroporation. Right? What they do in this method? They take the cell, plant cell, imagine what is the plant cell, okay, cytoplasm and all these things, and here they have the plasma membrane, and here is the DNA, okay. They mix it with the rDNA, recombinant DNA, rDNA ಇದೆ, right. They keep it suspended together, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸೆಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರ DNA, ಸುಮಾರು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅವರ rDNA ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Then this is exposed to certain type of electric currents with low voltage, okay, long pulses or so low voltage long pulses or high voltage ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಪಲ್ಸಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಇನ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಲ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್, so that the foreign DNA present here will enter into this with the main genome, it will combine, right. This is what we call the electroporation, pore formation. ಇದು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ DNA ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Did you follow this? Right now, electroporation, foration or electroporation. Right now, in this method, plant cell or protoplast in suitable ionic solution ionic solution is suspended along with the recombinant DNA next. This mixture is then exposed to low voltage long pulses or high voltage short pulses. In a number of cycles. Next, these electric pulses create number of pores in the plasma membrane. Through which DNA can be incorporated. Therefore, it is called electroporation. Just draw this small structure. This is the plant, that's a host plant cell or protoplast plus rDNA, electric currents, pores. Draw this small one to understand. Varadra? Done. Okay. Okay, fine. So next method, it is called gene gun method. Third one, as the name indicates, it has a gun-like thing, right? Third method is called gene gun method or bombardment method. Right? So what is this actually? Here what they do is, actually it was developed by a scientist from Cornell University, USA, Professor Stanford. It was developed by Professor Stanford from Cornell University. Cornell University, US in 1987. Not very far, 1987. So what he did was, so DNA was loaded. Suppose this is a double-stranded DNA. Means it will be loaded on the tungsten or the gold plate like this DNA. This is a gold or tungsten. Right? This will be taken on a helium chamber, in a helium chamber with the DNA, and it will be shot with the helium ions. It will be shot into the host cell. Suppose this is the host cell. They will shoot this. So main genome is here. Our short DNA will be here along with our DNA, the gold plate and all other things. This will be tungsten or gold plate. On that they load the DNA and then it will be shot inside. This is called the shotgun or gene gun method. Zig the high pressure the tuck the insert inject with helium pressure hakbitte chuck anta madidre hogi particular area dalli shot agutte. Idu tumba easy method. Namu wheat matte rice crops alla ide tara madirodu. This is the easy way. Wheat and new rice varieties and all, they are produced by this method only, where they did dwarf gene introduction alla idralle madirodu. Idu simple method. Okay, so write down gene gun method or bombardment, particle bombardment gene gun method or bombardment method. Gene gun method or particle bombardment method. This was developed by Professor Stanford. D illa I'm sorry. Stanford at Cornell University, USA. In 1987. In this method, recombinant DNA is shot into the plant cell. Shot andre shooting. Shot SHORT shot. Into the plant cell at a very high velocity. At a very high velocity. This method is also called as biolistic method. Like example, biolistic method. Biolistic method, IC, also called biolistic method. Biolistic method. In this, one to two mu m, 1 to 2 mu m, gold or tungsten particles are coated with the desired DNA and are shooted into the plant cells. using a helium pressure particle gun device. I repeat, using helium pressure particle gun device. ಈ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಬರ್ದಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಹೀಲಿಯಂ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಗನ್. ಇದು ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಜಿಂಕ್ನಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಗನ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬರ್ಪಾಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನೀವು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೀಟ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನೀಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಈಸಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಮುಂದಿನ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದ್ರೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ನೀವು. Major crops like wheat, rice and maize are transformed in this method. Done? Repeat the last point, write down. In this method, plants like wheat, rice and maize have been transformed. Transformed means transformation is being done using this method. Just draw this small gun-like structure. This is a helium pressure particle gun. This is the plant cell, and that is a gold and tungsten particle or plate with the DNA. Add both of them. Drawing is for your information. This is the DNA. This is the helium pressure particle gun. This is a plant cell. For your information, you should have this diagram with you. This is the most asked question in this, the history of NEET. ಅಷ್ಟು ಸರ್ತಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀನ್ ಗನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಯೋಲಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ ಅದು ಜೀನ್ ಗನ್ಗೆ, ಬಯೋಲಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಬಂಬಾರ್ಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ. ಹೈಲೈಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೈಲೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ. Finished? Mugita ilva? Done? Okay, done. Okay then. So last one I'll give you, that is a micro injection, right? Very important thing is micro injection, which is most our. This is not that easy. This is a little difficult method and costly affair also. Tungsten gold plate ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕು, right? So I'm giving you the next one. This is the fourth one. Fourth one, micro injections. micro injection. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಪೋಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್, ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಇದು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇದೆ. Here is our DNA, right? Then they will hold this first. One side in the hold ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. From another side, they take a thin micropipette. Okay. In this, they take up the DNA. This micro injection, they directly penetrate into the nucleus. Direct. They inject like this. Okay. Can write injection in inject matter. This is called the micropipette or micro injection. Capillary tube अथवा micropipette अने use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Micropipette. Spelling is pipette. Pipette ಇದು host cell. ಇದು nucleus. This is a rDNA. Direct injection ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. This is to hold it, right? ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸುಮಾರು ಸರ್ತಿ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಷನ್. It is not always successful, but still people try this because this is easy method. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒಂದು ತಗೊಂಡು DNA ತಗೊಂಡು ಟಕ್ ಅಂತ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ, ರೈಟ್? ಬಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎರರ್. ಒಂದು 1000 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಬದುಕೊಳ್ತದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ simple method. Okay, write the heading micro injection. In this method, DNA solution is injected. Na DNA ಜೊತೆಗೆ aqueous solution ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. DNA solution is injected directly inside the nucleus of the cell. Using micro syringe ತರ syringe ಇದೆ ತಾನೆ, ಅದು syringe, micro syringe or capillary glass micropipette or capillary glass micropipette. I repeat, in this method DNA solution is injected directly inside the nucleus of the cell using micro syringe or capillary glass micropipette. Capillary glass micropipette. Next, this technique was originally used in animal cells. But now it is even used in plant cells. This method of micro injection requires great technical skills. Great technical skills because many cells die during the process. During the process. Okay, draw this. Exam ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಬರೀರಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಜೀನ್ ಗನ್ ಗೆ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಏನು ತಪ್ಪಿಲ್ಲ. ಜೀನ್ ಗನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿದೆ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್, ನಾನು ಚಿಕ್ಕದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ಬರೀರಿ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್. ಬರ್ದಾಯ್ತಾ? You want me to repeat what? Nisarga, repeated na? Okay, done. ಬರ್ದ್ರ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ದ್ರ ಇದನ್ನ? Okay, done. ಎಲ್ಲ done? Okay, fine. Okay, now let's start with the procedure. ಇಷ್ಟೋ ತನಕ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು? The overall story I had given you. Now last thing I have to give you is a bioreactor, na? So bioreactor ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ so it's a competent host. ನಾಲ್ಕನೇದೇನು ಬಯೋರಿಯಾಕ್ಟರ್. The tools ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಡೋಣ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So fourth tool ಯಾವುದು? Bioreactors. So these are the big iron vessels where we can multiply our DNA, whichever recombinant DNA is formed, in a large scale industrial usage. So when a particle use, I want to make it in millions and trillions, so much of tons of material. Then what I have to do is I have to use the larger structures. They are called as bioreactors. Okay. Whatever procedure is there, it will help in maintaining temperature, pH ella maintain ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು ಒಂದು bioreactor. Now I'll give you one structure of bioreactor. Iron tank ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡದೊಂದು iron tank. Fermentation vessels ಅಂತಾನೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. Iron tank ಇದು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಫಸ್ಟ್. It is a jacket like this thing on that iron tank. Here 2 layers ಬರಬೇಕು. ಇದನ್ನೇ ಎರಡು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಪಟ್ಟೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಡ್ರಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಇದು ಬಯೋರಿಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎನಿ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಐರನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್. ಇದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕಿನ ಮಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಹೀಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ. ಈ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ this plate will come out like this outside. Okay, in this we have to inject the sterile air. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ sterile air ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಪಂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Sterile air. Okay, above this I have a stirrer. Stirrer ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು? Something by which you can agitate the things. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು, ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕಂತ. ಇದು ಅಜಿಟೇಟರ್ ಅಂತಾನು ಕರಿಬಹುದು, ನೀವು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಕರಿಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಅಥವಾ 3-4 ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ ಇಂಥವೇ, ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬರೀರಿ ನೀವು. 3-4 ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ. ಇದು ಒಂದು. This will help in agitating mixture. Okay, agitating the mixture and then Allah will be making it to break down. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಹೀಗೆ ಟರ್ನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೀಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ. This is called as a mechanical stirrer. Stirrer ಇದು. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 2 ಅಥವಾ 4 ಈ ತರದ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಓಕೆ, at the tip you will have the motor for stirring this. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮೋಟಾರ್. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮೋಟಾರ್ ನಿಂದ ನೀನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಇದು ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಇದು. ಓಕೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚಿಕ್ಕದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ನೀವು ದೊಡ್ಡದೇ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಸ್ ಎ ಮೋಟಾರ್. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಅದು. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ for steam induction. Steam will be induced in this for sterilization. Steam for sterilization. Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಬೇಸ್ pH ನ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೇಸ್. This is the acid base pH monitor, pH controller. Okay, okay, ಇಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಸ್ಟರರ್ ಇದೇನಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಇದು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಫ್ರಾತ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರಾತ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ಫ್ರಾತ್ ಬ್ರೇಕರ್. ಫ್ರಾತ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ. ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಹೆಸರು ಸ್ಟರರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಯೋ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇರೋದು. This is the stirred tank bioreactor. ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ, ಟಕ ಟಕ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲೇ 52 ಆಗಿದೆ. ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಯೋರಿಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬರ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಯೋರಿಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಬಿಟ್ಟು ಚಿತ್ರ ಬರಲಿ. ಬರದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ವಾ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. Finish drawing. What is the labeling at the top of left hand corner? Ida acid base pH controller. Acid base pH controller. Steam sterilization. Below the motor, froth breaker. Froth breaker. Froth ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂಥರ ನೊರೆ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇದು froth breaker. Froth breaker. ಮೇಲಿನವೆಲ್ಲ froth ಅನ್ನು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Steam for fertilization ಅಲ್ಲ ಕಣ್ಣು, sterilization. ಯಾರು ಹಿಂದೂಜ? What is fertilize here? Steam for sterilization. Finish drawing. These points I'll give you tomorrow. Did you all finish? So this is the first unit where we are talking about the procedures. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಟೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂತು, ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ನಾಳೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಮುಗೀತು. ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಬೇಕಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಗೀತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು. ಓಕೆ, ಸಂಜಿತ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಇನ್ನ ಶೋ ಮಿ ದ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ. ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸರಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರೆದ್ರ? ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಸಂಜೀತ್? ಶಲ್ ಐ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್? 2 minutes ಇದೆ, ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾರು ಬರೀತೀರಿ ಬರೀರಿ. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೈ ಫೇಸ್ ನೌ, ಯು ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಇಟ್. Okay, then those who are saying say bye. I will close only at 2 more minutes. I'll give those who are drawing. Let them draw. Okay, then I'll close. Is it fine? Okay, I think you have finished drawing. See you. Bye. All of you are drawn. You want me to still show the board? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So if you are done with this, okay. Bye, Kandra. Bye, Makla. See you then. Bye.